Hello, SpongicX here. Sorry, I know the new Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC came out not too long ago, but yeah, I meant to get to it sooner, but I got a new job recently, so today and yesterday were my only days off this week, so I finally got around to it last night, and so recording audio over the video footage, and so yeah, I think this was wave 4 of the DLC, and we got a new character, which is Birdo, but I'll use her in the next cup. For right now, I'm just going to play as Rosalina. My thoughts so far was this is a pretty good pack overall. Most of the new stages or returning stages are pretty good. So, like, I mentioned how in some of my previous playthroughs, how I wasn't too big on some of the Mario Kart Tour stages they ported over. I just didn't think they were very fun, and I gotta admit, some of these new ones are actually really good. They're really fun and inventive. So this first one we got is based on Amsterdam. I think I have a friend who's from there. So, like, from my video series, me and my friends played All Bad Cards and all that, or Bad Cards as it's called now. Ruben, he's from Amsterdam, I believe. And yeah, this is a pretty neat level. I like how it's one of those levels that keeps transforming as you keep going. It keeps changing the routes. So I think this was something that was introduced in the Mario Kart Tour maps. Because it wasn't until like the Deluxe Expansion DLC where you suddenly saw levels like these, where you see like arrows that block you off from certain paths, and then they open up during like some of the later maps and all that. Yeah, I was not expecting an underwater section in this level, but... So let's see, as of the day I'm recording this video, it is March 12th, 2023, and so, not too long from now, the Mario movie will finally be out. I think, wasn't it April 6th or something like that? I'm really looking forward to that movie. I know the final trailer just released not too long ago, and it was not too long ago. It was Mario Day, March 10th. So I forgot to mention this, but along with the addition of Birdo being added to the roster again, we also got 5 more additional character slots. So that means that during the remainder of the DLC expansions, we could be getting 5 more characters. And so it's fun to see a lot of people speculating. I can guarantee, though, 2 of the characters who will definitely be making it in have to be Diddy Kong and Pauline. I mean, they just seem to be like the #1 picks for when it comes to DLC characters. It's happened in so many games so far, including like Mario Tennis Aces, Mario Golf, and even Mario Strikers Battle League or whatever it was called. So hard to say who the other characters are. Like, I'm hopeful that we can get more Kong characters, though. I know a lot of people want Dixie Kong or Funky Kong back. Dixie Kong was only in Mario Kart World Tour, where Funky Kong was in Mario Kart for Wii. I wouldn't be surprised if they add Nabbit or something. I know, like, one character a lot of people would like to see, like an obscure character they'd love to see playable, would be Professor Egad. Maybe PD Piranha. I mean, Nintendo's been bringing him back for some reason. I mean, back in the GameCube era, he was like practically in every game as a playable character for some reason, and then they kind of stopped it. Suddenly, they're bringing him back, like ever since Mario Tennis Aces, I think it was. I gotta say, that was my favorite part of this level, that giant, like, flower field during the last lap. That was pretty fun. But yeah, Amsterdam, this is a pretty fun Mario Kart Tour level. I'm not very up-to-date with Mario Kart Tour. I only played it for, like, the first 3 months when it first came out, and I immediately lost interest. I just don't like those microtransaction trap games. So this was a really neat reinvention. I mentioned previous times, many times in my videos, that I'm not the biggest fan of Mario Kart Super Circuit for Game Boy Advance or even the original Super Mario Kart. I just think it feels so outdated compared to the, you know, improvements you saw in everything from the N64 version forward. But they did a really good job at reinventing this. I love, like, the sunset lighting we got here. The music sounds really nice. Yeah, visually, this is just a pleasing remake. Really messed up there. I like the cave section they added, too. So yeah, you know, I mentioned many times how one of my biggest complaints with a lot of these old Super Nintendo or Game Boy Advance racetracks is that they're just so flat and blocky. It just feels so pointless, like when they keep porting more of them over. And so here, it's more acceptable. It's not as flat as it was on the Game Boy Advance. They actually made some slopes and curvy turns, and yeah, it's just a real nice improvement overall. It's like I almost forget I'm playing on a Game Boy Advance track. The only, like, similarity this one has to the Game Boy Advance is you still see some of the colorful blocks on the side. That's about it. I can't remember what the name of those kind of piranha plants were. The walking, I want to say putrid piranha plants. I can't remember. I think they were introduced in Super Mario Bros. 3. Which I just finally went through for the first time. You know, there have been many times in the past where I tried playing the game, but I could never get past the desert world for some reason. Or, no, it was the third world, the water world. I could never get past that, but recently on Nintendo Switch Online, I finally booted up the game again, and admittedly, I did use the rewind feature many times. That game is brutally hard at times, but, so, yeah, I was finally able to get to the final world, beat Bowser, and surprisingly, Bowser was a really easy boss fight. I didn't even have to rewind during that, but I'll even say he was easier than he was, like, in the first Mario Brothers game, but I also revisited the original Mario Bros. 2 on Nintendo Switch Online. Now, I originally beat that game on the Game Boy Advance with the Super Mario Advance remake of it, but never really went through the original all the way. I actually like Mario Bros. 2. I do think it's flawed in some areas, but I don't think it's like one of the worst Mario games like some people say. I actually find a lot of nostalgia with it. The Game Boy Advance version, though, was actually my introduction to that game. I didn't even realize it was a remake until, like, a few years afterwards. Eventually you learn more about past consoles and you realize, like, oh, this is actually a remake. But, yeah, that game does have, like, although it was basically just a reskin of a Japanese exclusive Doki Doki Panic, you gotta admit, Mario Bros. 2 was a major, like, image mover for the series going forward. It brought over a lot of staples and elements, including, like, multiple playable characters, including Toad and Peach, finally. You know, that was heavily carried over in Super Mario 3D World. It introduced a lot of characters like the Shy Guys, Birdo, which, you know, those were heavily introduced in, like, Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island. The Shy Guys, at least. And so, yeah, it's like that game had a lot more influence than some people realize. And it's funny, though, because the game was technically all a dream. Okay, DK Summit. I know this was a pretty popular level from the Wii version. I remember, like, this one can be pretty tricky, and I can imagine this will be very chaotic during online matches, especially during some of the half-pipe sections with the tight cliffs and all that. And so, otherwise, yeah, they did a nice job porting this one over. You can still use like the half-pipe ramps for tricks and all of that, so that's really cool. Otherwise, I wouldn't say this level's as unique, though, because I can't remember the name of it, but we did have that Wario Summit level, the one where it's like just like that big triathlon down like a giant ski slope. The big difference here, though, is that this is one that loops over and over, where the Wario one was like an ongoing racetrack where you got to race to a dead end, basically. So, yeah, although, yeah, we already do have what could be considered a ski resort level in this game. This one still stands out on its own for different reasons. I also like how they still have the Shy Guys, the Shy Guy obstacles where they're snowboarding around. That's really cool. I can't remember, you know, it's been such a long time since I played Mario Kart Wii, so I can't remember if there was, like, that statue of Donkey Kong snowboarding. If not, it's a cool addition that they put that in there, but... it wouldn't surprise me if it was in the original, though. I remember there were some levels that had statues in them. Like the one that I especially remember was, I think it was one of Daisy's levels where there's a statue of her and Luigi. Yeah, it's hard to believe that we're already down to, like, the last, you know, this is like the first 2 cups of what I believe are going to be the last set of DLC waves. I think we only got 2 more updates to go. So just 4 more race cups. So 16 more racetracks are left on this game. It's hard to believe we're already that close to getting the rest of them. But kind of sad too, though. Like, you almost wanted to keep going, but eventually everything has to come to an end, so... But at least we know Nintendo did confirm a new Mario Kart is on the way. And we probably won't get that till the next console, whenever that will happen. Because, yeah, you could argue, but wait, Nintendo likes to add, like, 1 new entry to a series per console. So, since Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is a port of a Wii game with expansions, does that count? Well, technically it does when you have this DLC. I mean, let's face it, this DLC alone is... Especially for $20, it's a really good value. We're getting, like, basically double the amount of courses that were already introduced in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And so, just that, keep in mind, that was a $60 game. And then for $20 DLC to get as many racetracks, yeah, it's a really good value, to be honest. It helps that a lot of these are racetracks that were already in previous games, so that adds to the value as well. It's like it would be one thing if they were charging you $60 for mostly brand new ones, but $20 for mostly returning stages. Yeah, it's a really good deal. Yeah, you gotta admit, it's really cool of Nintendo to do that. They could have easily just released this DLC as a brand new game. And people would have pointed out how it just felt like they were recycling stuff from Mario Kart 8. And so adding it as a DLC expansion was a really good idea. So I'd say this next racetrack was the one I was looking forward to the most, Yoshi's Island. So this is a brand new racetrack, not at all like ported from a previous game. And I love the idea of this. I wish Nintendo would make more levels like this where you race, you know, usually like if they take a level based on something, they just have it just be one level. No, this is like mostly the entire island of Yoshi's Island. You're racing through many levels of the game. So like here we have like the Flower Meadows, like one of the first like worlds of the game, and then all of a sudden you're in like some of the other worlds. Not all of them are included though, like they don't have like a level that represents like the ski level, but hey, we already got like 2 ski themed levels in this game, so I kind of understand. But you got like the underwater area, which seems to represent a little bit of the jungle. And so here you can kind of see how you're going through like one of the little castles, probably like Bashful Bert's castle. You got like one of the cave levels. So yeah, this is really cool. I'd say my only complaint though is it feels like one of those dark rides at an amusement park where it's so cool, you're so excited, and then it's over with so quick. That's the only complaint I have. This is a pretty short level overall, but I do love the creativity behind it, and you can tell they didn't half-ass it either. A lot of this stuff is like, you can tell a lot of this are like brand new resources made specifically for this racetrack. A lot of the creatures that you saw on Yoshi's Island, they made like new 3D models for them, and they even have a lot of the sound effects and visuals straight from Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island. They even replaced like the coins with the Yoshi coins. And then even when you finish the racetrack, it plays like a remix of the goal music from the original game. And not to mention how you flat out saw like the goal post with like the flowers like right in front of the finish line. That's a really nice touch. And so yeah, my only complaint is this level feels a little too short, but overall I can't complain. It's a really nice level. It reminds me a lot of the Legend of Zelda Hyrule level they made for the original Mario Kart 8 DLC, and yeah, that was really fun and creative, and this gives me that similar kind of vibe. And I'm kind of thinking like what other kind of Nintendo worlds would be nice to see turned into a Mario Kart racetrack. I know we already got Animal Crossing and F-Zero. I'd love to see Kirby, like something like based on Pop Star or Dreamland. That would be really cool. Let's see, a Mario 64 inspired level where you're jumping through all the paintings would be really neat. Like, that'd be kind of hard to pull off, but that'd be kind of cool to see them somehow attempt that. So like one minute you're, it's like you're racing through Peach's castle, and then you drive through like Bob-omb Battlefield, and then somehow it leads to another painting, which takes you to like, Jolly Roger Bay or something. You know, it's like, that'd be a really cool idea for a level. And then that's another good question, though. So what if one of the new roster slots will be another guest character from a Nintendo game? It's hard to say who it could be from, though. I mean, we already got representatives from Zelda, Animal Crossing, and Splatoon. So it's like, who would be another good candidate? Like, a part of me wants to say Kirby, but I think that would be a little too hard for him to pull off, because, you know, he's basically a short, stubby character who doesn't really match the anatomy of a lot of the other characters in this game. But it could work. I mean, Shy Guy's playable, so maybe Kirby could work. But I see like Kirby racing around like on a little warp star with wheels or something. That'd be kind of funny. It'd be kind of cool to see like Samus or Captain Falcon maybe. Like Samus could have a car that looks like her ship or something. And I mean, Captain Falcon would work. I mean, we already got like one of his vehicles as a racetrack, and I mean as a vehicle, and of course we already have F-Zero racetracks. So yeah, I like the little remix of the Yoshi's victory theme from Yoshi's Island right there. Yeah, overall, this was a nice track, and yeah, this was a nice race cup overall. Can't say there was a single racetrack in this new cup that I was disappointed with. So, Fruit Cup was the name of this one. And then we got one more cup of racetracks to go through. So I have to wonder, I noticed how like they have the question mark clouds with the wings and all that. I have to wonder if you shot it with a Koopa shell, would you get like a power-up or something? I didn't really have any items to let me try that out, but I do have to wonder if they did hide a secret like that. That would have been cool. I think it's a shame they never brought back the Yoshi egg power-up from Mario Kart Double Dash. That would have worked really well. Like, I liked how it was basically just a Koopa shell, but it had a prize or a trap that could shoot out, and that was really cool. And it would have been cool to see them bring that back, but yeah, I think like that would be neat, like a neat step for the next Mario Kart. You know, they're always looking for new gimmicks or trying to bring back like past ones, and I'd love to see it where they have Double Dash as an optional feature, so you can choose to have the single races or choose to have the team races again. That would be really neat. I don't know why, but I missed the original version of Birdo from Mario Tennis. Remember when she had like that cute little voice, and then all of a sudden you play like Mario Golf Toadstool Tour on GameCube, and she had that weird wah, wah, wah kind of voice, and it's like, oh my god, what did they do with her? I just don't like, and the fact that they keep using that voice, like, they've been using it for, what, like, nearly 20 years now? It's like, my god, that's so annoying. I don't know what, that voice works for Shy Guy, but it does not work for Birdo. It's just so jarring. Okay, dang it, I wasn't paying attention to, like, what the name of this one. I think this is India, though, just judging by, like, the appearance and music, and this is a really nice stage, yo. I really liked it overall. Like I said with Amsterdam, they actually are doing a good job at improving on these world levels. I used to think they were the most boring levels, and they are doing a much better job at, like, making them better with each new update. I'm surprised it took them this long to add Birdo as a playable racer. I mean, she basically nearly became a mainstay ever since Mario Kart Double Dash. It's like, the only one she was missing in, I believe, was the DS version, but she was also in the Wii version, and, okay, they also got rid of her on the 3DS one, but same with Waluigi, but, so, considering how Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was supposed to, or Mario Kart 8 in general, is supposed to have, like, the biggest roster, it's weird how they got rid of, characters like Birdo, or Bowser Jr., Diddy Kong, and all that, and instead we got characters like, basically just clone characters. You got, like, so many baby characters, so many Koopalings, clones of even Mario and Peach, and it's so weird. And it's just so lazy. It's like, come on, there's much more deserving characters. I mean, and come on, Birdo can't be that hard to put into the game. I mean, chances are they mostly recycle similar assets from Yoshi, so I mean, in a way, Birdo almost feels like a clone character of Yoshi, so why is it so hard to put her in, but so easy to put in, like, every Koopaling or something? I don't know, it's so weird. And yeah, speaking of which, like, they have the nerve to have all the Koopalings in, but not Bowser Jr.? At least they added him in when Deluxe was a thing, but not during the original Mario Kart 8. I'm not sure, but one of these days I'm gonna have to plug it in and see if it still works. But I'm kind of worried. Like, I hear like how there's something going on now where people who haven't like kept their Wii U plugged in for like I think 3 months, their console might be bricked now because there's some kind of battery issue where the gamepad has to be syncing with the console, and so if you go so long without it being connected, it can cause the gamepad to become unresponsive with the Wii U, making a lot of games unplayable, the ones that required the Wii U gamepad, and so I don't know, like I have my like Wii U in the closet right now because I don't really have room on my TV to plug it in right now, but that kind of saddens me to think if I ever decide to go back to my Wii U and it might not be working anymore, because I've definitely gone more than 3 months without playing it, and that sucks. I mean, you know, the Wii U was not a cheap console, and I still have a lot of virtual console games on that, stuff that still isn't even on the Switch yet, and so I'm going to be really upset if that is true. And then it doesn't help that Nintendo confirmed that like backward compatibility will not be easy going forward when it comes to their next console. And so, dang it, like, does that mean that we're not going to be able to transfer like our Switch Online stuff, and is it going to be like Wii U all over again, where after a certain number of months will everything disappear or something? I hope not, because companies need to quit doing this. They don't care about preservation. It sucks. People want to go back and revisit their save files and you know, relive memories of games they love, and without having to start the whole damn thing over, and it's so annoying. Okay, so basically another Mario circuit level. I'm not sure how many of these we already have in this game, but I'd say, like, the one thing that stands out about this level is I really love that forest area. I remember, like, that really stood out on the 3DS, especially when you have the 3D setting turned on and all that. Then you got a few obstacles, like the spitting fireball piranhas. But, yeah, it's basically another basic Mario Circuit level, but it's not bad, though. It's visually pleasing. Oh wait, oh, for some reason I was thinking this was a 3DS level. Actually, I think this is a DS level, but I think I was getting mixed up with another level, but either way, it's still nice. Like, this forest area really reminds me of one of the 3DS levels, though. I can't remember the name of it, but I think that level was ported in one of the previous expansion levels, too, actually. But there's one level I'm really wanting them to port in one of these expansions, and that would be the airship level from Mario Kart DS. Based off the airship segments from Mario Bros. 3. Like, I remember that was a visually fun level, and it's like, I want to see that remade, darn it. I'd say the closest thing we have to it is probably, oh, I can't remember the name of it, but that one Cloud Kingdom level from the original Final Cup of Mario Kart 8. Like, there's that one part where you're flying through the clouds and you do fly over some airships but that's like that's more of like a sunnier kind of level with a few storm clouds here and there. But I want like the one where you're on like the airship entirely. Like, that was a fun level. They even had like the little Monty moles that threw the wrenches at you and all that, and yeah, that was a fun level. I liked it. Then it'd be nice to see them port over all the other Bowser's Castles and Rainbow Roads that haven't been ported over yet. That'd be really nice. I'm wondering if they'll save that for the last cup or something. Probably not, because I honestly do wish they made like themed cups where you. But then again, they do have the custom cups where you can make your own cup. So if you really wanted to, you could just make your own like rainbow cup or something where it's nothing but the Rainbow Road courses and all that, but or Bowser Castle levels. Waluigi Stadium. I love how they brought this back. This was such a fun level from Double Dash. So basically just like a giant dirt bike obstacle course. I gotta say though, I'm glad they brought this back, but I am not too impressed with the visuals. Like, oh my god, it looks like we're running across the Pooh Mountain from Conquer Live and Reloaded. Like, why does the dirt and mud look like poo here? It's just way too shiny. So, I don't know, like, they could have done a much better job. Sad how you could say even the GameCube one looked better, but otherwise it's the exact same level, and it's got a neat little remix of the music from the game, and so yeah, it's still a fun level overall, just could have been more visually pleasing. I mean, yeah, I know it's dirt, but yeah, even video games can make dirt look good, so. This makes it just looks like we're racing through a sewer. But I know this was a fan favorite level. I know there have been plenty of people wanting this one back. I think it was included on Mario Kart Wii. I just have to question why this was a Waluigi themed level, because honestly this felt more like it should have been a Wario level, considering how on Mario Kart 64, like you had like one of those dirt bike levels, and that was a Wario themed level, Wario Stadium. I remember as a kid I liked Wario Stadium, but looking back on it now, it has not aged well. It's just way too long. Kind of boring too. And it's really prone to where you can accidentally get like hurt over a half pipe and end up dying. And I heard Nintendo did a patch recently to try to prevent stuff like that from happening. They have it where Black 2 has a quicker recovery time for if situations like that happen. So it helps get you back into the race a lot faster. A nice little touch, because I remember the Wario one, like if you ended up messing up over a half pipe due to like a lightning bolt or a Koopa shell, you practically like got sent back to the beginning of the race, it felt like, which meant you have no chance of returning. Not to mention how back on the N64, you didn't have the power-ups to help get you back into the race, like the bullet bills and stuff like that. So, yeah. Now, I remember another level on Double Dash. They had, I think it was a Wario Stadium level, and I remember, like, I don't remember much about it, but I remember there was a part where, like, you drove through one of those giant ball cages that you see, like, stunt motorcyclists drive through, and I remember, like, that was the part, that was, like, the only thing I remember from that level. It's been so long since I've played Double Dash, but, so I wouldn't be surprised if eventually they end up adding that to the tracks and all that, but I know a lot of people are demanding for more Mario Kart Double Dash levels. I hear so many people complain how they're just focusing on adding levels from the DS, 3DS, or Wii, and then everyone's like, where are the Double Dash racetracks? We barely get any. And I kind of do agree, though. They have been focusing too much on just porting levels over from World DS or 3DS or Wii, but it's like they're kind of ignoring the GameCube levels. It's like there's so many cups in a row where you don't even have GameCube levels, and then occasionally you just get like one in a cup, but I can imagine this would be a really chaotic level when online. Well, you know, going through some of these racetracks, it makes me go like, oh god, these are going to be a nightmare if you go on the, what was it called, the 200 Grand Prix, like the fastest one. I remember like the one level where I thought like, oh, this is going to be like hell doing it on that, and that would be the DK Summit level, because of all the tight turns and cliffs. Oh man, that would be a nightmare. I can tell some of the Mario Kart World levels would be a real nightmare as well because of all the sharp turns. Okay, so the final level we have is Singapore Speedway, and so I'm sorry that if I sound stupid. So I can tell this is like a level from Asia, but I can't tell if it's I'm guessing this is China maybe, but I don't know. But otherwise, this is a very pretty level. All the like the bizarre looking buildings, all the neon lights, and yeah, this is a really nice level. And then not to mention all the waterworks. There's like all these water shows that you get to race through, and it almost it almost makes you think of Vegas or something. But have they even made a Las Vegas level yet? I can't remember. If they did, it must have been very forgettable. But I liked how they had the little Goombas and the inner tubes from Mario 3D World. So yeah, we just raced through a bunch of like rooftops that had like one of them looked like a swimming pool, one of them looked like a tennis court, and yeah, this is what I'm looking for when it comes to Mario Kart World Tour levels. I felt like a lot of them were just too bland. It's like, yeah, they're based on real life locations, but they didn't do enough to make the racetracks fun or visually pleasing. It's like, I remember like the Paris level, it's like, oh, there's the Eiffel Tower in the background. That's it. The rest of it was a really boring level. It didn't do a good job at showing off like the beauty of Paris, France and all that. And so I do feel like I'm seeing that more with a lot of these later Mario Kart World Tour levels. It almost makes you wish they'd go back and redo some of the previous ones and give the countries or locations justice, because it's kind of unfair how some of these later levels do a good job at improving it, and then you look back at the older ones and they're so boring in comparison. But it helps though that they're doing the thing where they change the laps, they change the course during each lap, so you get to see more of the location instead of driving over the same bland level over and over. I think that's another reason why these levels stand out. Okay, and that was the Wave 4 DLC of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and yeah, that was really good. Another I mentioned like how in some of the early DLC tracks how they're not perfect. Like there are at least like 2 or 3 like race tracks in them that I felt like didn't need to be included. They just felt like repeats of what we already have in the game. And so I think for both Wave 3 and Wave 4 were the only ones where I didn't really have anything to complain about. It's like, aside from a few nitpicks, I at least said like the levels themselves are good. I don't feel like any of these levels could have been kept out and you would have missed a thing. So yeah, and so 2 good cups in a row. That's, well, 2 good waves in a row. That's good. I look forward to seeing the final 2 waves and see if they hold up. Yeah, like, I'm really happy with this DLC overall. It's a great value, like I mentioned, for $20 for all these racetracks, and the fact it's still not finished yet. And then how you get it for free if you have the Nintendo Online Expansion Plus. That's great. So until then, thank you for watching. See you next time, and have a great day.